Okay, y'all, let's have a heart to heart. How many times have you told yourself, hey, I'm going to start investing and I'm going to open this account this week, or I'm going to open it next month? Or better yet, you're going to open it next year because you have some research you need to do to get ready. And then time goes by and you haven't opened the account. I found myself in this exact situation whenever Joseph and I were talking about purposefully investing our money into our traditional brokerage account. And we had a very clear plan on what we were going to do. And Joe comes back to me a month later. Mind you, I'm working at the time. He's like, hey, did we invest that money? And I looked at him blank in the face and I was like, haven't done it yet. And so when I coach one-on-one clients, it's really not uncommon whenever they come to me and say, hey, I've been meaning to open this account, but I haven't. Because the reality is most accounts, especially outside of a traditional 401k, when you're auto-enrolled in, these accounts you have to actually go out and open in like Vanguard or Fidelity, whatever brokerage you decide to choose. And so today I want to cover 5 specific things with you. Number 1, we're going to talk about how to open a Roth IRA in Vanguard. We're going to talk about how to link your bank account. We're going to talk about how to actually fund the money into your Roth IRA. $50 is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go in, we're going to actually search for an ETF. We'll use VOO in this example. And I'm going to take you through the exact steps on how to actually purchase VOO with those $50 that you funded in your account, because you don't need a ton of money to start investing in ETFs or fractional shares these days. So we'll walk through that. Welcome back to the Permission to Be Wealthy channel, where we have open and honest conversations about what it's like to build wealth and pursue financial independence on your terms. My name is Stephanie, and I haven't been here for a while, but I am Joseph's wife. He's my other half, who's also posting videos on this channel, and we'll post videos together. We're going to take you through our journey to financial independence. We're going to show you our lives here in Portugal, and we're going to give you some insight to how we're designing our life on our terms as a family of 4. You can follow me on Instagram, where I post daily tips about building wealth and your career for women. So let's go ahead and get started. Get ready to get those screenshots, get a piece of paper so you can write down some notes, and let's get into it. At the investor, https://investor.vanguard.com/home. And I gave that to you guys in the link because this is the part of the site that is the personal investor site. If you are at the screen that has a list of the personal investors and institutional investors, etc., just make sure that you go to the personal investors page, because that's where you can get started. And you can either open an account up here at the top right, or you can go at the bottom and open an account here. So we're starting a new account. We're going to start with a Roth IRA, and there's a bunch of reasons why you want to start a Roth IRA, and you can also roll that over to a traditional later if you need to, but there's some more information on that at the end of the video. But we're going to open a new account. We do not have assets that we're rolling over into Vanguard, like a 401k from another employer, or trying to consolidate our investments into Vanguard. So you want to choose open a new account. And for the sake of this discussion, and we want to link our bank account for the first time, we're going to use bank transfer. Again, if you are rolling over funds from a previous 401k or other plan, or if you want to roll other investments from other investments that you have with other entities, you can do that as well. We're going to be new here. If you had a login from a previous, let's say 401k, and you want to open an IRA, you would go ahead and log in with your original information. And this is just kind of setting expectations of what we can expect, right? Opening the new account specifically is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. We're also going to need to verify our bank, and that will take a few days. So you can just come back after the bank transfers are validated and keep going on with the next steps. But we're going to need our address in the US, our employer address if applicable. And the important part about your employer is Vanguard's trying to validate, are you in the financial services industry specifically from a stock trading perspective, or working for anyone that does that specifically? And so it's really important that you disclose that if you are in that industry, and you'll need your social security number as well. So we're going to keep going. We're going to invest specifically in a retirement account. You can do a traditional brokerage. You can open an account for your children, or even other self-employed type accounts that have certain benefits. But for the sake of our conversation, we're going to open up an IRA, and we're going to open up a Roth. Now, again, if your income ends up being higher than the requirement to have a Roth IRA, work with your tax advisor at the end of the year, and they will have you repurpose that into a traditional IRA, okay?
So we're going to go with the Roth for now. All the tax benefits associated to it are great. Let's hit continue. And we're going to write down all of our information. So let's get this started. Okay, so all that information is in. Now we need to put in our address, and all of the information that Vanguard's going to send you is going to go to this address. You also need to make sure that none of this mail gets returned. Okay, so nonetheless, use your permanent address. And now that this information is entered, address and phone number information, note your phone number will be used for verification purposes as well. We're going to go to the next page. And then it's going to give you all the information that you have entered in so far, asking you to validate it. So your legal name, this will also go into your tax filing at the end of the year. So just make sure that those things match whenever you get to that process. Okay. And now on to the next section. All right. Now we want to set up our access. And then you want to consent or the agreements that Vanguard wants to provide you. You can download these, you can read them. They're the typical things that Vanguard would provide. I consent. And all right, so now you get to choose your list of security questions and answers. Again, this is a second factor, second form of authentication. So we want to make sure that you are you every time that you get into the account. Okay, so we've selected all of these security questions that we want to have verifying our identity and answered them. And now, okay, so on the next screen, we're going to add our bank to our account. And so you'll need your routing number information and your account number information. So make sure that you have that. You are going to be given a bunch of options as to how you can link up your account. Let's see here, which ones come up. All right, so I'm going to link it manually because for whatever reason, the automation stuff did not work out. And so you need to put in your routing number, your account number, confirm your account number, what type of account it is, and then the name that is on the account, of course. Now we can hit continue. So now you want to enter in the amount that you want to invest into your account that will come over within 3 business days. Of course, there's some micro transactions that need to happen in order for Vanguard to validate that your bank is connected properly. So we're going to enter in here $50 for the sake of this exercise. You can invest up to $6,000 in 2022 specifically for your IRA. And so you'll hit continue from this point on. Okay. So in this part, we're going to have to talk about our employment specifically. So you'll want to list down, are you employed? Who are you employed by, etc. You'll also need to check the boxes that apply to you in this section specifically. Make sure that you read these sections and answer them as honestly as you possibly can. Vanguard will also ask you these questions specifically to help tailor their services to you. So you'll want to list out what is your income and what is your net worth. And Vanguard will go ahead and tailor a number of its services to you. Then in the next part here, you're going to list out where the sources of money are coming from specifically to fund this account. For some of you who are just getting started, a lot of this is going to come from your salary. All these other things are listed here. So if you are rolling over any of your funds from retirement, selling a property, etc., check off the ones that are applicable to you. The next set of questions is specific around what are the goals for this account? So are you trying to preserve the amount of your money from declining, well, let's say from the standpoint of due to inflation? Do you want to generate income? So dividend income is one example. Do you want to see this account grow? Or are you speculative and doing a bit more of a speculative investment strategy, which has a lot more risk? It isn't anything that I've chosen in the past, but a number of individuals that I've spoken with are choosing this for the top 3. And you can choose 2 or 3, depending on what you decide. And then it'll ask you again to go ahead and verify your information, your bank account, your profile information, the employment status, etc. And by hitting continue, you'll then be opening the account. Okay, so I've logged back in. I now can see my Roth IRA account that I opened, and the $50 that I initially wanted to transact is here ready for me. So I'm going to come here, click on the account. I'll now see all of my accounts that I have in here in Vanguard, but I'm going to now go in and I'm going to take this money from my Vanguard Federal Market money market account, and anything that you see that's a money market account is just a holding place for your money, okay? So this is not invested yet. You need to make sure that, in your situation, you have, when you want your money to be working for you, that it is actively invested in a fund. So we're going to go select a fund. All right, so I'm going to go to Trade Vanguard ETFs. I'm going to buy. I'm going to put in the symbol that I want to put in for, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 Index Fund, VOO. Right now, this is $355. I'm going to put in the amount that I'm going to put in here. $5. I'm going to take a market order, the day of. It's going to tell me how much I can buy, the balance of what I have available to purchase with, and then the estimated shares that I'm going to be purchasing, and I'm buying a fractional share here in this case. So you do not have to buy a whole share of something in order to transact an ETF with Vanguard. And so I'm going to preview my order. It's good. And I'm going to submit. And now I have purchased my first fractional share of an ETF with a Vanguard Roth IRA specifically invested in the S&P 500. Great job.
I really hope you found this video helpful. Every single step in opening an account might seem a little scary at the beginning, but once you get the account open and once you actually invest in your first thing, your first asset, it gets easier over time. And if you really enjoyed what you saw in this video, like and subscribe to our channel. And of course, leave us a comment and let me know what other types of topics specifically around investing, financial independence, or our lives here in Portugal that you'd like to see more of. And lastly, if you'd like to kickstart your relationship with money, I have a free video mini-series. It will take you less than 30 minutes to complete. It's super simple, and I'll leave the link below if you'd like to get access to that. And remember, it was making time for education like this that helped me and Joseph get really purposeful and intentional about pursuing our financial independence journey. And we hope this video helped you get a little closer to giving yourself permission to be wealthy.